Hi everyone, Ashton at Apiary Company here. Welcome back to the channel. I'm up at the forest apiary today. It's quite a nice day, about 22 degrees, and I'm here to kill all the queens in this apiary. And the reason I'm doing that is because the bees up here are pretty vicious. The last time I was here, every time I opened up a hive, I'd be stung through the suit. They'd mob the camera. I was picking up 5 or 6 stings every colony, through the suit, through the gloves, through everything. Just not nice bees, and they follow you back to the car and everything else. So I haven't been here for a bit, to be fair. I ordered some queens from Northumberland Honey, and they are coming in 6 days. So it's Sunday the 14th now. They're coming next Saturday. So I am a bit behind. I'd really want to be doing this 10 days in advance, but it has rained pretty much solidly for about 2 weeks. It's just every day, absolutely chucking it down. So today is the first decent weekend I've had. Been in, sorted out the other colonies yesterday. That was, you seen that in the last video. And today I've got to come in and sort all these queens out. Maybe now that it's a bit better weather and everything else, they might calm down a bit, but who knows. This video I'll show you the whole process of what I do to introduce new mated queens into colonies. This is the first step, make them queenless. Next step will be take down all the queen cells so they make them hopelessly queenless. And then we'll introduce the new queen. So hopefully I can find the queens today. Worst case scenario, I have got a shaker box which I'll show you if I need to shake bees down through a queen excluder to try and find her, but we'll see how we go. So the first thing I'm going to do, get my smoker lit. I'm going to double jacket and double glove for this one. So I'll put another jacket on over the top of this. I'm even wearing trousers underneath my suit. Normally I'm wearing shorts because of the heat, but I'm just, these girls are so nasty, well they certainly were last time, that I'm taking all the precautions I can. I'll also get the equipment out and I'll show you what the shaker box looks like. Okay, so this is my shaker box. I'm hoping I won't use it. I bought it just in case. Basically, this is an old brood box. The bottom got rotten, so I trimmed off the rotten wood and had an old queen excluder, which you can see there, which is just nailed on the bottom. Duct tape around the top, because apparently the bees don't like walking on duct tape, so it'll hopefully keep things going down. And the idea is you put this above the brood box, shake the frames in, and obviously the bees can go down, but the queen can't. She ends up running around on top of the queen excluder, and that's how you can find her when you really have to. So yeah, I'm hoping not to have to use that. I'm hoping I'll be able to find the queen just looking through the frames, because this is guaranteed to get them really annoyed once you start shaking bees. They're even worse it is. To be honest though, I have already been pinged several times just walking through the apiary. I haven't even lit a smoker yet and I've already got bees at my veil. So there's definitely some grumpy hives up here that need new queens, new genetics to calm them down. Well, I'm going to start up this end because from memory these girls were better, and they just get worse as you go along the line. So you see what these girls are like. This was a queen that never really did very well anyway, so we'll see what they're ended up like. Stuck everything down well. Just never really filled a box. There's not muck there. Empty bucket. Nothing in that one. Nothing in that one. So basically it's a case of looking through some stores and finding Her Majesty. Yeah, they swarmed, didn't they? So have I got eggs? Come on, get down. As she got mated and started laying. Not yet. Not on that frame. And the problem with this apiary is you're under the trees and it is an absolute pig to find anything. They've definitely swarmed. Oh, there she is. You see her? That's the new queen. So we need to get her. She's gone. So that was an easy one. And whether that was the only queen in here or not is another matter. But I think probably was. So it's the first one done. Just shut these back up. They're probably already hopelessly queenless. I didn't see any eggs in there. Right. Put that back on. Move on to the next ones. I'm not going to go to take video of all of this, otherwise this video will be about 4 hours long. So I've got to go through the rest, and I've got the other camera up, so we'll do some time-lapse footage, and if I have to run the shaker, then I'll switch this camera back on and you can see how that works. But hopefully I can find the queens in all these, kill them off and be done with it, and then come back next week and we'll look at introducing the queens. Can't find this queen, so I'm going to shake these frames in, see if we can find her that way. Finding queens is not my forte, never has been. You're looking for a brown bee with a load of brown bees on brown comb in the dark. I'll check the frame before I shake it in case she just suddenly pop up. And I've missed her. And if you've seen her and have been screaming at the TV for a while, I apologise. Was that out there? So we shake them in there. Check. There's nothing on there. There's eggs in this hive and young larvae. So I think we've definitely got a queen. So just have a shake. And you see, I don't really like duct tape. Flying bees will go. Hopefully she'll go down. And so will the young bees. Finally, you see her there? I knew she'd been here somewhere. Yeah, you can't get through there, love. Let's put this down. Right. Okay, right, that one's dispatched. Now I've just got to get these bees out of my shaker. And this is a big colony, but had to be done. Okay, next day, well, not next day, not by a long shot. So I think I'm 2 weeks. Yeah, I think it's 2 weeks on since the last part of this video. Basically, what's happened is that I was going through hives. We found the 3 queens, killed those off. Then I was hunting through the next hive. It was huge, couldn't find a queen. Going through thinking, and I ran out of time. Basically, was running out of time. So I shut them up and thought I'll be back next day to try and sort stuff out. That night, I got an email from Northumberland Honey, who's supplying my queens, to say that because of the terrible weather that we'd had for the 2-3 weeks previous from there, been really cold, loads of rain, the queens were delayed. They weren't going to come on the Saturday. And so that's pretty annoying, because I've got 3 colonies that are queenless and have been for quite some time now. And but it did mean that I didn't come back. There was no point in me coming back and making the rest queenless. So new plan. This is plan Z now, I think, probably. So I've got to go through the 3 that I did find the queens and kill the queens, take down any queen cells and hope that nothing's emerged yet. And then there's no virgins in there. And then I'm going to go through the other 3. And I've got one that I'm not going to requeen, because, you know, she's produced a hell of a lot of honey. And actually the bees in that one weren't too bad. So if I just spin you around, where? Right, so over there, those 2 were made queenless, as was one on this stack here, that one at the far side there. This big tall one in front of us, I ended up putting 2 extra supers on that one, because it was absolutely flying, and filled up 3 boxes, and we're running out of space. So I'm thinking I'm going to take some sealed brood out the bottom box from that, and use it to boost these other ones that have been without a queen for a while. Then I bought 3 brood boxes with me. and I'm just simply going to shake all the bees from these 3 colonies down into an empty brood box. These are brood boxes that came from the demo rays at Stratford. So they've got a drawn comb in them for the most part, clean. And then I'll put a queen excluder on top and then put a brood on top, almost like I did with the demo ray. And then tomorrow I'm going to pop up. I'll take the bottom brood box off with the queen, move that to one side. The flying bees will go back, and then I'll have a queenless colony with all the brood and a queen. Basically, I'll put those into nukes. They'll be easier to find the queen when the new mated queens come in. Hopefully, he says. Kill those off. So I'll make up 3 nukes with mated queens. Requeen everything else in here except for that one, and then we'll be good to go. So that's the plan. I'm just gonna set up, if I try and put you on veil cam and go through each hive, this video is going to be about 5 hours long. So we'll do a quick time lapse. Literally, it's going to be me shaking the bees, getting stung a lot probably because they're not going to be happy, and get down. I mean, we've been in a huge heat wave for the last 2 weeks, so it's just been phenomenal. It's 33 degrees here now, and we're sort of heading into the evening, which is why they're going to be angry, because most of the bees will be back. But you just can't come out in that heat. It's just absolutely ferocious. Yesterday was 37 degrees. I think we hit 39 at some points. So just haven't been able to don the suit, and certainly not double suited and come up here and start shaking bees about. So we'll crack on. Got a sort of plan. We'll see if it works, you know, and if it doesn't, you guys can all laugh at me and tell me how wrong I was. But I don't have time to sit and go through and shake bees into shaker boxes and everything else and try and find the queen. So we're going to shake them down, put queen excluder on top, and then I know that the queen's in the bottom box. We'll take that away. Right, I'm back. It is D-Day, because just get these girls over. We have queens. So I'm back again. This feels like it should not have been this complicated, guys. Really should not have been. I totally got thrown out by the change of dates. That really threw my timings out. And trying to requeen an entire apiary of very nasty bees has been a bit of a challenge, I must admit. But we're now hopefully at the point that I can go in and dispatched the last of the queens that we've sorted out. So I think you saw I couldn't find the queens in the big colonies. Just couldn't find them, which is not unusual. I'm rubbish at that. So I shook them all down, and then I went back a couple of days later, because I shook them down and I put a queen excluder above, and so the queen was in the bottom box, and all the brood was in the box right above it. Then I went back and pulled out the bottom boxes, shook them and the floors into a nuke box, which should have the queen in them, and put the original box back down on the bottom floor. And so we should have ended up with you know, a queenless colony, and the queen in the nuke box over there, which will be much weaker because all the flying bees will go back to the original colony, original site, leaving just young bees with the queen. That's the hope. God knows whether it's worked, but I now have 11 queens here that I need to introduce. So we'll go in and we'll try and find out what we can, and see if my plan worked or not. Basically, it's been, you know, I've never come up to this apiary so many times as I have in the last few weeks, and every time has had to be double suited, double gloved, because and now I'm even double hatted. I've got a cap on underneath my hat because they were just stinging through the suit. It's just been absolute carnage. So if I can get this smoker lit, we'll go out and we'll see what we can do about introducing our new Northumberland Honey Buckfast queens, and change this apiary hopefully for the better. Right, I'm going to start with this one because I think this should be the easiest. So when I came to shake these ones down, when I went into the brood box and it was empty, and I thought, oh, this must be a failed queen or failed mating, something like that. And these up there, and therefore, you know, I was going to just basically scrap the colony out. But I then found in the supers, went through, I don't remember which super it was, the ones on the bottom. I found brood in the supers, and so obviously, and I found a very scrappy little queen. So I'll show you what I mean. There you go, you see in there, I've got worker brood in the supers. Just checking for eggs. Make sure there's no eggs in there. I found, like I say, I found a scrappy little queen who'd obviously snuck through the queen excluder after she got mated, then couldn't get back down again, and so was laying in here. And so it meant that obviously this is what we've ended up with, brood all up in the supers. So she was killed, got rid of her, and now I just want to double check that there's no eggs and look for queen cells, and then I can pop a new queen down underneath the queen excluder, and they can thing. So look, you see they're drawing a queen cell there. It's, See, emergency cell. Okay, so, and there you go, see some more queen cells. So it's emergency cells. So we'll get rid of those. Don't want any possible hatches. And that tells me they are queenless because they're raising cells. They're not happy because they're queenless. Just want to check everything before I put in queen. I'm probably not going to pop the tab, if I'm honest. I want to be doubly sure. I'm going to put the queens in and then just make sure. I'm going to come back in a couple of days, double check again in case I've missed any. See, there's one there. So I made them queenless. I'm going down. I want to make them hopelessly queenless and take away any chance that they can raise a new queen, and they have to accept the one that I'm giving them. And you're probably getting absolutely swamped. I'm not sure whether you're even able to pick up. Look at that, that's a full frame of honey. Look at that. So they've been pulling in some honey. There's another queen cell there. Wow, these girls are so angry. Absolutely vicious. Even this tiny little colony. They're up at me. Right, that's good. So I've been through there. Taking all the queen cells down. So, let's get the first queen in. Here we are. Get this out. So, comes in this little cage. It's fondant there. Queen, nice white marked queen. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up. You can just about see her. So she's going to be just popped between some frames. I'm not popping the tab yet, they can't release her. So just double check. See, that's all empty. Oh, that's a horrible frame. That'll have to come out. Let's put that to the right out to the edge. I don't want that frame in there. It's got some stores. Again, there's some pollen, no eggs. So, I've got the queen. Just basically going to pop her between the frames. It's got these cages and quite nice. They've got 4 little feet on them, which I can push in into there. So queen, she goes in there. Pop that back down there, out of the way. Queen excluder goes back on. Again, I've not popped the tab. I can't release her yet. I'm going to let them play with her. The reason I'm being so cautious is just because these queens are so expensive. Even the fact that me and a couple of friends clubbed together, got a bigger order in, and got the discount for buying multiples. yeah, I'm just very wary. Making a hunt up, just being absolutely sure there's no other queen in there, there's no other eggs, and no way they can raise another queen. The last thing you want is your expensive queen being killed by some scrappy virgin. First one done. I'm going to have a look in this nuke here, and I'm not seeing a lot of bees out of this, so I shook in the queen. I shook the queen from that colony in here. This is the one I did catch on video, so you've seen in slow-mo, and I basically put, there was eggs, put all the bees in, so we'll see if they stayed. I'm hoping she hadn't flown back in there, otherwise that's going to cause some problems. It doesn't look like there's any bees in here, does it? Oh, there you go. I was lying. Just nothing really flying. So these should be very young bees and a queen. Let's see what we can do. And I'm not fussed that this is going to be a weak nuke. We're in July. There's stores in here for them, and we give them a nice, fresh, mated queen. That will be good for them to build up to overwinter. So this will be a nuke that I'd be looking to overwinter. What I'm wanting to see in here is eggs. I'm pretty sure I saw eggs when I shook the bees in. Because the queen should be in here. If not, I don't know how she's got through, but because we shook, as I said, shook all the bees down into the bottom box, put queen excluder above it. There's no way she should have been able to get back in to the top box. I then took that bottom box, see, yeah, there's larvae in there. I don't know if you can see it. The light here is just terrible. There's larvae in here, young larvae. So that means the queen is in here. Can I find her? This footage may end up getting sped up as I hunt through looking for the queen. And it should be easy, right? Look how few bees there are. Shouldn't be a problem. The thing I find with queens is when you really need to find them, when you have to find the queen, it is just, they're just impossible. You cannot find them at all. And I know one of the issues is that none of the queens here are marked, which will make life easier. I mean, it'll be, these new queens going in have all got a nice white dot on them. But there's eggs. So she's there. She's laying. Just need to find her, and she can be dispatched. If you've already seen her and are screaming at the telly, I apologise. There she is. There. Let's get you. Thank you. queen. Again, just going to push her in here. Just killed that other queen, so she's gone. And again, not popping the tab because there's eggs in there. I'm going to come back, keep an eye on this one, see if they're drawing queen cells, and if they are, I can just knock them down. They're not strong, but that's fine. They'll build up for winter. I'll feed them, do whatever I need to. That would be a colony that I overwinter. Can't feed them with this feeder though, it's missing its, so I'm going to have to get some more of those, make some more. Here we go, done. Okay, I've just got to do that around here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to crack on. It's exactly the same process. If I, ooh, it's hot. This is not a day you want to be double suited, and I'm roasting. And I've still been stung a couple of times, and you might be able to see they're all over camera, all over my veil. Absolutely relentless, the girls up here, which is why we're doing this. This was a success as far as I can see. I found queen cells in the boxes that I should have. I've found the queens in the nukes that I split off and killed them. So all the new queens are introduced. They are where they should be. I've not popped any tabs. 3 days time I'm going to come, one last check for any queen cells that I've potentially missed or anything, and then pop the tabs, and those queens should be introduced nicely. And then the next time that we're up here and you see this apiary, which will be, I don't know, a few seconds I guess for the end of this video, we should be looking at nicely introduced, fully laying Buckfast queens. Okay, last day on this video anyway, back here at the forest apiary, and I'm already been hit by bees. I haven't even opened a hive yet. So it is the 12th of July. And on the 5th of July, so the last section of the video you've only just seen, I've put the queens in, didn't pop the tabs, and I came back on the, when I come back Thursday, so that was Sunday, about 3 days ago, I popped all the tabs, checked everything, couldn't find any eggs. Well, that one's a little bit suspect, but the rest of them, double checked there was no queen cells, no viable larvae, anything like that. Popped the tabs, so now I'm just going to go through and we'll see if I've managed to get it right and managed to get any accepted. If not, I guess I'll have to come up with a plan B, but here we are at the moment. So I'm going to start up here where it's quieter at least. These are little nukes that were, well, this was a swarm, very small cast swarm. I killed the queen on this one, dropped in this queen. Well, I mean, as I came through the gate of the site, I had bees at my veil. That's just how bad things are up here at the moment, which is just not what you need. So let's hope I've got these queens introduced and laying. Make sure she's not wandering around on there. They're all white dots. We're not out the woods yet, even if we have got queens laying, because you know, we mid-July, it's been dry, you know, there's no, again, we're going through heat wave after heat wave. This year isn't as bad. We've had some thunderstorms, we've had a bit of rain to try and keep things going, But at the end of the day, there's still not a lot of moisture around. We're getting warnings again about wildfires, and just need some rain. But there's rain predicted, or thunderstorms anyway, predicted next end of this week, end of the week coming. So hopefully that'll top up the ground again, just keep the flow going. Not seeing any eggs in there yet. There's the cage there, so we'll get to that. Hopefully they've released her. And not killed her. So this one was, I found the queen, removed her. I'm not seeing any eggs yet. I gave them a mated queen. And the queen was in for quite a while. It's brood sealed. Not seeing any eggs. Has she got out of the cage yet? That's the question. Should do a pop tab. She should be. Yeah, that cage is empty. Could this already be a failure? It should be really annoying. Oh no, there she is. White dot going around. So she looks accepted. And I can see eggs. So that's good. That is a good, successful introduction. So we'll put that there. Move that one over so that we don't roll or anything. We'll put frame in. So, oh, through 2 gloves. Blimey. How they managed that. And there's weight in there. They have got frames of stores. That's good. 1 for 1. Next one. It's an empty frame. On there. The problem with here, down here in the forest, it's dark. So hard to see eggs at times. So be careful. Oh, that's been emptied out. Nothing in there. Looking for that white dot. Just trying to get the light so I can see if I can see any eggs. It really doesn't help with the canopy here. No eggs. Not that I can see. I'm loath to do this because you don't want to have it drop off. I think I can see eggs down there in the bottom. This is a weak colony. They're going to need some boosting. If I can get a frame of sealed brood over to them. There's not a lot of bees in here, and they are going to be at risk of being robbed out if I'm not careful. They're down on a small entrance, which will help them, in a small space, which will help them. They need frames of brood. I've got a laying queen. I'm just hoping it's the queen that I gave them. I think I've seen eggs in the bottom, so we'll come back. I'll have to have another look at them later on. Close this up. Pretty sure I saw eggs, so I'll check next week. Be looking for sealed brood by that point. Okay, well, definitely 1 for 2. 1 and a possible. They should have accepted her. They didn't have anything else. Okay, hive number 3. It's got 1 definite, 1 maybe. What can we get? Score out of 11. I don't know if I'll do all of those because this video is probably long enough as it is. But I'd like to see a couple. There she is. See her, middle of the frame, white dot. So she's been accepted. Moving around a bit, that girl, but she's there. Great. So that's 2 definite. Then 1 maybe. Okay, number 4. What have we got? There she is, white dot, middle of the frame-ish. Sorry, not middle of the frame, right there. Brilliant. She's been accepted. So that's hive number 4. All done. Oh, she is. That's we're on now. This is hive number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Middle of the frame there. Beautiful. Accepted. Running around. Move the cage out of the way. Fantastic. Okay, this is number 6. I'm getting into the really angry girls now. Check on here. Definitely seem to get worse as you go down the apiary. Big roar from these girls. Big roar. What does that mean? So, just put them down off the top. Don't like to use too much smoke. If I can get away with it. Starting to have my doubts about this colony. You know, keep seeing cups, so that means there's got to be a queen in there. So what are they doing? There's a roar and it just, yeah, it doesn't feel right, this colony. Doesn't feel right. There's no other larvae around or anything. Well, I've seen eggs. Did I miss a virgin or something odd? Because I think I might have missed something here. Something's not. So, she's still in here. But, in the bottom here, I've got loads of eggs. So, this looks like there's laying workers, but the queen is still here. I don't know how, if I can get the camera to focus on there. But there's multiple eggs in these cells, which make me think either there's a virgin queen who's just come on lay, and I've missed one. But in here is my Buckfast queen. She's still in there. They've not released, but you see that it feels like they've pinned her in. So what is going on? And what do I do now? I'm going to have a think about this. Right, this is an odd situation, and I'm just trying to work things out. So the queen is still in there, okay? She's in here, and the reason she's in here, I don't know if the camera will pick it up. One of her attendees has just so happened to die in the little gap. So she's not been able to be released, which I think may have saved her life. Down in this bottom box, there are eggs. So I've got multiple eggs in cells, which would normally mean laying worker. But also you can get a situation where a new queen gets mated, comes back, has a bit of a time, lays lots of eggs, and these eggs are all in the bottom of cells. They're not on the sides, they're right in the bottom of the cells. I don't think laying workers can get down there and lay eggs right in the bottom of the cells. So I'm going to take a gamble that it's not laying workers, that there is another queen down there. They're not trying to kill that queen, they're not trying to kill the new queen. They seem quite chill with her. She's been in there for quite a long time now, so she probably smells like them fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bottom box back together. Because I've looked through and I can't find a queen. I will have one more look through. If I can't find her, then I'm going to put the bottom box back together. I'll put this queen excluder on, and then another super. Then I have another brood box that I can use. I'll put that on with a second queen excluder underneath it, and then put her in and release her. And then if she's rolling around in the top box and starts laying eggs and everything, that's fine. If I go in the bottom box in a few days' time and find a load of eggs, I'll just pull that bottom box away with that queen and put the bottom box down. It would almost be like a bit of a demarré almost. That's what I'm planning on doing. But first off, I'm going to have a quick look through just to see if I can see a queen in there. Alright, this is hive number 6. Now you can see white dot. She's been accepted, moving around. Whew, that's good. Is it hive 6? Actually, sorry, it's hive 7. So, we've got 5 definitely accepted, 2, yeah, not sure yet. So, we're doing okay so far. Okay, this is hive number 9. There she is, sitting in the middle. So we're a 7 of 9 at the moment. The other 2, not sure. Okay, number 10, there she is in the middle. These are very angry girls, but she's in and accepted. She is, next one, running around in this little nuke. She's been accepted. Another good news story. They probably need a boost of some brood when I can get to them. Whew. Well, that was pretty hot work. It's I think it's about 32 degrees today. So being double suited, double trousered, double gloved, not nice. So where did we get to? What have I learned over this whole period? It's the first time that I have ever requeened an entire apiary. I've done, individual hives and things like that. To go full on, just right, we're going to do the whole lot, was a new challenge for me as a beekeeper, which is, I always like to take on new stuff and learn new bits and pieces and look back and see what I could have done better and what went well. Success rate so far, 9 out of 11 confirmed. The other two, I'm not too sure on. I will do a follow-up on that hive that had all the eggs in the bottom. Like I said in the video, I've put them in 2 boxes. We'll see how it goes. I'm not 100% sure on where we get with that. But 9 out of 11, it's not bad. It means that that entire apiary has changed in terms of genetics. What have I learned in doing all this? I think the easiest way to do it was to shake all the bees down, put the queen excluder on, which I did the second time around. The shaker box wasn't great. You know, certainly I've used it for one hive, but trying to do a whole apiary with that, it's just too much hassle. The bees, too many bees get angry, especially in a apiary like that. The method that where I shook them all down into a new box, put a queen excluder on, put the brood above, that worked brilliantly. I was able to move all the bottom boxes across a couple of days later, find those queens, kill them off, and the bonus was I've ended up with a load of nukes with new queens in. So if I was to do a whole new apiary again, I would definitely be doing it that way. I'd order double the number of queens for colonies that I've got, shake everything down into another brood box, make nukes out of those, and basically you'd end up with 2 colonies for every one that you've done and requeened. And I just do it that way. It was a little bit hectic with the fact that you know, we lost a couple of weeks because of the bad weather, so the queens were delayed and everything. That threw a bit of a spanner in the works. In reality, it was my own fumbling around and making a hash of it, really. But we've got a good set of queens up there, all introduced, all seem to be happily accepted by the colonies. Not out of the danger zone yet. Still got wasp problems to come, because we're sort of mid-July now, and there's some weaker nukes up there. We need to get some stuff up. I don't want to put any feed up there because I don't want to start robbing. So I need to strengthen those nukes with some sealed brood when I can. But for the moment, I'm pretty happy with it. If you know, looking through this, if you've got comments or you think I've you know, made a complete balls up of it, and you know, have got better ideas on how it could have been done, please let me know. Stick it down in the comments. It's always great to hear what other people think and what their other ideas are. But until that, I'll close this video off, and hopefully in a couple of months' time, those will be much nicer colonies to work with. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I know it's been a bit of a long slog, but we got there in the end. So the next videos will hopefully just be some inspections, and we'll be looking probably at honey harvesting. So lots to look forward to. So until then, I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.